Welcome to or welcome back to my channel, Alicia Influencer. I'm Alicia Victoria and this is Black Girl Chats, where I just chat and share insights for life upgraded. So in today's episode, episode 7, I'm going to be sharing a quick video about shopping deals, shopping for the sales that are coming up. As you may know, the biggest sales for the holidays, which they call, quote, Black Friday, is coming up this week. And I just want to put you on game, make sure that you know a few tips for shopping these sales. Plus, as the title shares, shopping deals for designer dupes, how to find them affordable, cheap, and items that may be exactly the same, but that are marked up or priced up, finding them in places where the manufacturing middleman is cut and the price is closer to the actual value of the product or without the added markup. So first things first, let's get into shopping for designer dupes and specifically the places where I've found that you can shop for them. So your girl is not a big designer person. I'm more of a craftsmanship and quality person, and sometimes that's with a designer, sometimes that's with a main well-known brand that might be what they call low-end or not a high-end brand. And sometimes that's with an individual artisan or craftsman. And so for me, it's more about what appeals to me, what I like, versus being Gucci'd down from head to toe or having the latest brand or rocking the latest brand. Nonetheless, there are well-known designer brands that I have liked based on the style and the look, and so I've had interest in them. But because my interest tends to move to different trends and varieties of things, and I might like something else the next day, or that it will be a new trend that has more interest, I do not tend to want to invest in, in $500 bags, $700 shoes, things of that nature, though I do believe in investing in quality products, and if that price point reflects that, then so be it. Nonetheless, I will still try to find a deal, and in my view, everything is negotiable, and that includes designer products. And so one thing that I've come across when I've had designer products that I have liked, that have become very trendy online, social media, etc., and I want to buy in and participate in that trend because I might like the look of it, I tend to go for the dupe and a well-made dupe. I'm not talking about like where someone is stealing the design and, plagiarizing, but I'm talking about a copycat, even that the designer may say, oh, that's a good copycat, or they like certain copycats of their products, or someone has innovated further on the popular style that they have introduced to the market. And so I've done that with a number of brands, including Marc Jacobs, Gucci, Coach, Fendi, a lot of them. And sometimes, personally, I've ended up liking the dupe better. Not for quality per se, but for, the trend, being on trend and what some may say fast fashion. And I know that fast fashion has become politicized, but in terms of just participating and choosing how I participate, that's what's more important to me. So, shopping for designer dupes. The places that I tend to find that replicate designer dupes very quickly is, everyone knows, made in China, made in PRC, as they like to call it now. And so China tends to have the copycats and dupes, but it's about knowing where to find them. And people who like designer items or that designer look and feel, but they don't necessarily want to pay that price point, or like in my case as well, and or sometimes I do not agree with that designer brand's value, and I'm not trying to necessarily represent that brand, but I may want to represent the style. So even this year, there's been several major fashion houses, including one that begins with a B, that had huge scandals involving trafficking and exploitation of children and questionable things done in their designs. And then there's been designers who have been whitewashing their brand and, you know, um, being called out for being racist to their models, or just different negative connotations and values that I don't agree with for the brand or the brand's value and the directions that they're going in. And that happened with several brands that I've seen through the year, and some of them that I used to purchase previously, though not the ones that I mentioned previously of note. I did not get those in the past anyway, so I'm glad about that. But sometimes it's like you don't want to align with the values of that brand, those designers, those fashion houses, and you don't want to give them your money, but you want to participate in the style and trend. And so you can work that logic out for yourself, but everyone has their own considerations and how they handle things. And so what I have found is that two places in particular you can find a lot of these dupes, and a few other places that are well known you can as well, but they aren't always as reliable. So the top two places are SHEIN, SHEIN, and Etsy, that I have found various dupes and designer dupes and on-trend products and popular manufactured products that have maybe marked up, like on Amazon and eBay. So that's an additional category. And then I've also tended to find some of those dupes at a higher quality on DHgate and AliExpress and Wish, who has a new name. So these are all shopping websites mainly based in China. And so the ones I'm going to focus on are SHEIN and Etsy for designer dupes, and then for finding popular manufactured products that are marked up, like in places like Amazon. So when I talk about the latter category, I'm talking about things like where you might get household items or, more helpful lifestyle products and gadgets, where if you go on Amazon, say for example, it will be marked up 5 times the price. But if you go on SHEIN, it'll be the exact item and it will be very much a fraction of the cost. And so, first things first, finding the dupe. When you want to find a dupe, whether it's for candles, a purse, shoes, bag, if it's Joe Malone, if it's Diptyque candles, if it's a Coach bag, if it's Fendi headband, shoes, etc., if it's a pair of earrings from Louis Vuitton, etc. If you are not married to that exact design, but you like the style, the way that you can search to find items that will look like a copycat or a designer dupe, not a plagiarism, emphasis, is to go to Google, put in the search bar the name of the item, like say a Neverfall purse, and then you put dupe after it. And what tends to come up is bloggers who have already found those dupes for individuals and source them into one content piece like a blog post. But if you are looking for even more cheaper and affordable options in a variety of options, excuse the alarm, in a variety of options, what you can do is note the blog post content, but they tend to have higher prices because they might be sharing affiliate links, and then take a feature of that item. So for example, if it's a Joe Malone candle and it's the English freesia pearl, and the pear one, and you go and put the fragrance scent in SHEIN or in Etsy, and what you will tend to find is that it pulls up that item's dupe or copycat. The same thing on Etsy. If you take a feature of the item, for example, Fendi brown headband, and you go and put that in, or Chanel earrings style, then you will tend to find both the real items and the dupes within that. And so sometimes when you're searching SHEIN and you put this specific name with the designer, like Marc Jacobs bag, it's not going to come up. But if you put the features of the design, like say it's the crossbody that's very popular, or his work tote bag, if you put letter letter tote bag, for example, or embossed letter tote bag or tote bag, then you will see the different copycat styles. So instead of focusing on the designer name, what you tend to want to do is focus on the features of the product, whether that's the fragrance, the scent, the type of bag, the type of shoe, a particular feature of the clothing style or accessory. And so focusing on the feature when you're searching in the search bars for Etsy and SHEIN, and if you're going to look for more higher end or higher quality dupes, then putting in the name and then adding dupe in the Google search bar. Now, I tended to find that works really well, and you'll get a lot of options, and some options that you may say, oh, I like how they've innovated on the style better. Oh, Fendi earrings are $700, or key glasses, sunglasses are $150, or wherever their price point is now. But you go instead and you put the style in aviator or ombre sunglasses or tinted sunglasses in SHEIN, then you can tend to find the key style. So if you need help with having terms to put in the search bar for the features, what I would do is go to the original designer page, like in the case of Key, looking at the style that you want and then seeing what they put as the features and then using those keywords to then go search online, and whether that's Etsy, SHEIN, or Google, for the product, and you can tend to find them at a fraction of the cost. Now, when it comes to popularly manufactured products that are being marked up online on places like Amazon, eBay, third-party sellers, etc., what I highly recommend is checking to see if your product is already existing or a quality version of it on like a SHEIN as an example, because a lot of the products that you see on Amazon are resales, meaning that the sellers buy them in bulk from places like China and then they resell them at a markup. For example, you may be interested in a new keyboard for your laptop or your computer, correction. And so you go and you put in Bluetooth keyboard in Amazon and it comes up $30 to $50. What I would suggest is going to SHEIN and putting in Bluetooth keyboard first and seeing the options, because it might come up $7 to $14 and have a lot of the same features, sometimes be the exact product, because a lot of the Amazon sellers are sourcing from the same places in China or from the same place, China, and then seeing what your options are. Now, the pro tips here are you want to discern, is it the quality that you're looking for? Is it the exact item? Or is it a lesser quality? Or is it a higher quality? And this is where the reviews are really going to help you in knowing that place's return policy. SHEIN has a fairly reasonable return policy, but I encourage you to check it out for yourself. But generally, if there's issues, you can send pictures and they'll refund back to SHEIN or to your original payment method. And so what I tend to find is that if you cut the middleman, which might be the third-party seller on Amazon, eBay, online place, etc., and just go straight to the companies that deal more directly with the Chinese manufacturers, correction, like SHEIN and AliExpress, and more popularly Temu. That's one that's become really popular more recently. Then you can tend to get items for a fraction of the cost. Another good example are like hair tools, heating caps, electric heating caps, appliances. You want to be careful in the area of cosmetics, but general household items, like scales and rice cookers and air fryers. They have them very much so on Temu, SHEIN, at a fraction of the cost. And sometimes it's higher cost than you would find on Amazon. So you want to weigh that. And the reason why I would say that you can feel more generally comfortable, or at least I do, in getting the products there is because a lot of times it is the same product, or that technology is actually coming from that side of the world anyway, and where they're really innovating on that technology. For example, air fryers. And so, you might even be getting a better brand by going with a Korean brand or Chinese brand or whomever is innovating on that particular technology. But especially for day-to-day items, things that you find that you might replace more quickly, like USB chargers, headphones, office supplies, things to make things just more comfortable, and what I would say helpful for life hacking, um, on trend items. So like if those frosted glasses are really popular, or Stanley cups, that's another thing you can get as a dupe on Shein for a fraction of the cost. The accessories that people like to put on Stanley cups, like those pouches and monogramming them and keychains, very cheap and affordable. Usually what I've tended to see, the same product that you can find on Amazon but marked up. So on trend items, designer dupes, household items, appliances. I recommend places in general like Shein, Temu, um, Etsy, AliExpress, and the ones that I feel a more safer guarantee for recommending in terms of their refund policy is Shein. Though I have heard positive things about Temu's return policy. So yeah, instead of continuing to pay marked up prices for these things that you're either replacing through the year, that you may like only for a short period of time, like a designer on trend item that might be really popular for a time, like a Stanley cup, then if you're more open, or you're willing to try different things and you don't have to have that exact item, then try the places recommended. And I know another time, well, example I can speak of is finding like a Lululemon Sherpa crossbody dupe. I found it not only cheaper on Shein, but they also had cheaper dupes on Amazon. So you can search Amazon the same way using the features and like putting Sherpa crossbody bag and seeing which ones are the closer dupes. And what I encourage almost every time in doing this process is reading the reviews and checking out the seller's return policies. So this video ended up being much longer than expected, so thank you for staying tuned. But I'll wrap up with my last tip for sales shopping, and that's using like cash back extensions, cashback rewards, cashback tracking, and cashback cards. And so what I will do is link in the description box the cashback browser extension I use, which is Capital One Shopping. That's one of them. And I'll link them in particular instead of all the different ones that I use, like Top Cashback and some others, because right now Capital One Shopping is having one of their biggest and highest bonuses for referred shopping rewards. So if you use my affiliate link and you spend $10 on a qualifying purchase, you can get $75 back in shopping rewards up until I think the first week of December is when that offer expires. Now, of course, you want to read the fine print and see what the deal is all about, but that's $75 in shopping rewards, and some have even seen an additional $10 bonus if you download their app as well. So potentially $85 in shopping rewards. And the way they issue their rewards is through gift cards to places like DoorDash, Grubhub, Lands End, Ulta, I believe, TJ Maxx, Sephora, a number of places. So check that out. Links will be in the description box. That's all for now. If this chat's helped add value to your day, then hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Stay posted, stay blessed.